Thank you very much, Karine. And thank you very much to the UEBT team for inviting me. I think I speak on behalf of sourcing communities, not just in Zimbabwe, but in the world over. And when we are invited in such spaces, it means a lot to us because it means that our voice is important and our needs are also recognized. I am the granddaughter of a farmer. I'm the daughter of a conservationist. So I'm a fusion of a conservationist and a farmer. And that's what informs my day-to-day life. My life, 90% of the times, even when UEBT tries to reach me, I'm in communities. I'm talking to your collectors. I'm talking to your farmers in Zimbabwe. And what brings us all together in this space is that we are agreeing that biodiversity conservation is important, that sourcing with respect is important, that ethically sourcing our products is important. And we can't talk about sourcing with respect, sustainable use of resources without talking about issues of living wages. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what's happening in the Zimbabwean context. I chose not to use any slides, but to have a soul-to-soul conversation, for us to just talk about it. And as I'm speaking, I want all of us to think of the communities that we are sourcing from, because I believe that what's happening in Zimbabwe is not unique. It's right across many African countries and many Asian countries, as my counterpart said earlier. Currently in Zimbabwe, we are experiencing 85% unemployment. That means that the majority of the youth are unemployed, and the majority of our parents in my generation will not have a job or definitely do not have any retirement. So more and more we are relying on biodiversity, we're relying on farming, we are relying on the natural resources that we so richly are blessed with for an income. The government in September issued out their latest minimum wages. We are not even at that point where we can talk about a living wage. We are still talking about minimum wages. When it comes to agriculture, if you are the lowest paid in agriculture, you earn 8,550 Zimbabwean dollars. It sounds like a lot of money. But when we then translated to the US dollar, which is what we use, it is about $70 a month. The highest paid, which is the C2, the ones who drive the trucks, the ones who monitor the farms, they earn $17,000 a month. That is about 170 if you are employed legally. But most of the times, most of the farm workers are doing what is known as piece jobs. They come in for the season, they work and leave. That means that they're earning less than that. From this, the farmer is supposed to, let's say hypothetically speaking, have a family of 4, feed a family of 4. Food is going to be roughly $55 if they're eating 1 meal a day and just having basic porridge in the morning. From there, they're also supposed to take their medical aid, the cheapest, roughly $25 a person. So if it's a family of 4, whoops, we're already past the minimum wage. Add electricity, add school fees, and we're stuck with children that don't go to school. We're stuck with malnourished families. Then we move on to sourcing communities of indigenous species, the baobabs, the marulas, and so on and so on. The average collector earns about $90 a season. A season is between 4 to 6 months. That means this collector is earning less than $15 a month for 6 seasons, for 6 months, and for the year, we cannot even begin to talk about it. With climate change and unemployment, this is their main source of income. It would not be a good service for me to not also express the gratitude that we have for some of the partners that we have in here. because in most of the communities that I work, and I'm sure that all the communities that you source from, I have interacted with directly, they rely on you. They rely on that relationship to just have the dignity of feeding their families, to have the dignity of having a person or just fantasizing to have a child like me. I'm the product of a farmer who earned an income and was able to pay for my life, for that as well as some luck along the way. Why am I talking about this and breaking this down? I'm imploring you, soul to soul, as we conduct our trade, please understand that I know for sure organizations at source would love to have conversations on what to do better. Please ask them the hard questions. Please ask them what they're paying. It's important. Our government is legally saying you can pay a farmer $80. I mean, when it comes to crossing the T's and dotting the I's, you're doing well. $80, they're fine with it. It's legal. But is it necessarily ethical? Our customers buy from us because of what we represent. We represent being ethical, and we aspire to pay living wages. We aspire to use resources sustainably. When it comes to some of the indigenous species that we source, a farmer sells per kg. In some instances, walks 15 kilometers to the nearest forest, and they can only carry so much, and then sell them to the markets that we sell them to the markets and then create the products that we buy. The more kgs, the more the desire there is to feed their families, the more at risk our forests are, because they're chasing after the next dollar. They're chasing after the next kg. And some are not necessarily doing the right thing. I would like us to make a commitment within our brands, within our organizations, to take care of our forests. We depend on your commitment. Our biodiversity depends on it. Our communities depend on it. And the youth in our communities, this is the main source of income that they have now. With 85% unemployment, it is time that we start making our sector more attractive to the youth. We are all not getting younger. We need more of them on board. And what can get them on board is attractive remuneration for the work that they so eagerly want to do. And I come from a family, I come from a country which I think most of you know, we are hard workers, and we are willing to do work for an honest dollar. We are willing to do work for everything that we earn. So this is slightly different. This is me talking to you as the voice of the communities, not just in my country, but in the communities that you also source from. Take time to talk to the companies you source from, as well as the communities. If you have that opportunity, invest where you can. If it's a CSR project, if it's a transfer of technology, whatever it is that can make us continue to move over sustainably will make a difference. Thank you very much.